All right. We got Trap and Aludo in the building. What's happening, fellas?
Yeah, you did. We're just vibing.
Listen, I heard you guys got a gift for me, man. What's up? What's up?
Before we start, we do.
Yeah.
I don't think this have happened on the show, but we got an outfit change.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, it's on the floor. So I'm going to wear this. I'm excited. What do you got for me, man? What's up?
All right, so let's do the honors. You pick which one fits your vibe.
Okay, which one's small? I need to wear a small, man. I can't wear a medium. You know, the ladies are watching, bro. I like this flavor.
I think the smallest is medium.
Oh my
Keep it
goodness.
G.
All right, look. So I'll put on the black because then people won't be able to tell. All right, shit. What do we got here? First of all, let's show what we have here. Now this says, "Be famous for being yourself." Hey, that sounds like what I did. God damn it. Shit. Yeah, man. You gotta be your fucking self. Let me tell this bitch on.
Always.
Okay. Appreciate you fellas for this, man.
No problem.
I can wear this before I go to bed. I like when it's a little bit loose on me when I go to sleep and
You
shit.
dig?
All right, how's that look? Legendary? Let me double check, man. I gotta do my own selfie face to check. All right, love it. Listen, man, thank you guys for the shirt. Talk about this. Is this your brand?
This is our brand.
Okay, cool.
I don't know where to start, but it is our brand. It is a mental health brand. It's an emotional brand. It's basically a self-expression.
Okay, cool. And now, how did you start this brand? Like, what was the motivation behind it exactly? Like, the day it sprouted from your mind?
Pain. Precisely pain from my little sister, growing up in a black home, mental health being a taboo, and really just wanting to vent that pain in clothes because that's the most comfortable medium I had that I could put my hands on. I didn't really fuck with my voice, so music wasn't an outlet for me, but clothes and fashion was.
Okay, for sure. And so let's rewind a little bit here. Obviously, if mental health is a taboo, like a lot of people are saying, let's talk about when you noticed that and what you wanted to do about it the moment you noticed it.
So when this was going on, my sister was 10 at the time. I was barely 17. So me seeing this, my family, we all seen my sister go through it, cutting, self-harming, throwing up, and we criticized her versus getting her help because we're coming from a background that we don't really believe in therapists and getting help. So we just criticized her, told her to stop doing it. We just washed her like she was some type of prisoner in the home, so she wouldn't do it. But we didn't ever ask her what was the root of the problem. But fast forward, I went to New York with like a suitcase and $1,000, and I was going through my own battle. And then I vented back in that moment, like that seed popped in my head, like, yo, this mental health shit is real. So that's when I really dived into fashion. I went to New York for fashion, but now I really dived in and I combined that message of me wanting to express my pain that I didn't know how to tell my homie, yo, I'm sad, yo, I'm hurting, but I put it into the clothes.
Right. And obviously it's devastating to hear about your sister. And did she overcome that?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
Yes, she did.
What was the process like for her to overcome that?
So the process of that was when we started meeting more people, telling other people what's going on, people started pointing us to therapists. So we got into therapy. Right now, she's devoted herself to God and going to church. That's all she does. Like, she's not even with us right now. She's just at church, and like that's what's keeping her grounded right now.
For sure. And, you know, we're part of the hip-hop community and the culture and stuff, and you see a lot of people that don't express their true emotions because they feel like they have to put out this image, but also you realize in the street life it's that way too. Crying is not acceptable, and showing any type of emotion is not acceptable if it's, you know, crying or anything like that, or showing a loss or anything. So talk about why that is and the harms of that.
Man, I feel like, speaking from a black man in America, I feel like you have to be tough. Yeah, girls, when you are even simping to them, they're like, yo, you soft. So to cry, I feel like it's like, bro, you soft as fuck. And then I already came from a background, and I said I couldn't even tell my homies how I feel because no one's trying to hear it. Everybody trying to talk about, let's get some money, let's run it up. So like talking about your feelings, it just makes it like you a bad vibe. They don't want you around. You're not lit. So I feel like that's where that you gotta hold it in and suffer by yourself type shit comes in. Like you can't even vent to nobody because you feel like everyone's gonna judge you.
Yeah. Especially women too, because it's just a different time with women and how they perceive men. So talk about that a little bit, like how that can hurt a man's aura just by having a woman insult his feminine nature or just being more emotional.
Man, it kind of like it brings a lot of like disrespect. Like, you can't even really even express yourself because you feel like your women will look at you different. So you, at the end of the day, you're not even being your authentic self because we all have emotions. Like, why do we got tears if we can't cry here and there? Like, how you gonna say you rock with me the long way, but I can't express my full self to you? So like, I feel like it creates this feeling of like I gotta numb myself. Then this is where you get like lashed. Like people, it turns physical. You start, you disrespect her because she can't respect you. So you're not. It's not. There's no love there for real.
Yeah, man. And even for men too. Also, men judging other men for being emotional, and talk about that perspective as well.
Man, so when I first came to America, I moved to Minnesota. But fast forward to that, I went to a school where everything was about showing how strong you are, fighting. So I never seen no one cry at school ever. Growing up in America, I've never seen like a guy cry at school ever in my life. So it's like everyone was under like the social proofing of we gotta be tough. Like you can't cry, no show no emotions. Only girls can do that. That's only a girl thing to do. So I feel like it creates this thing where like everyone, like guys around each other are like hard, headstrong. We gotta be tough. If you weak, then you soft, you're not gonna be part of this group. So it's like I feel like it comes with a negative side effect. That's why like you got people indulging into all types of narcotics and not giving a fuck about nothing. Everybody's numb, so no one gives a fuck about nothing.
Right, and talk about yourself a little bit. So you were an immigrant?
Yes, I'm an immigrant. I was born in Ivory Coast. That's on the west coast of Africa. We won a visa lottery to come to America. Then that's how I came into America, honestly. So I was.
What's a visa lottery?
So it's per country. It's 1,000 people that can win. It's like the lottery to come to another country. We're skipping all the process of the paperwork, and it's like basically a free ride to America.
Wow.
Yep. So you don't got to pay for nothing.
And so it's just random?
It's random.
Okay.
1,000 people per country.
Okay. Now, so can you talk about your life over there?
So for what I can remember, it's different. Community. I was having birthday parties. The whole neighbors would come out. We don't necessarily know the neighbors, but it was our family. So when I came to America, I felt like disconnect. Like everyone was to themselves. Compared to America, what I can remember, the food was organic. It was good vibes, and people didn't have much.
Man, it sounds like most Middle Eastern countries as well from my area, like the more humbleness and it made a lifestyle better that way. Now, being in America, talk about your experiences here. Are you staying in Detroit? Are you staying?
I stay in Detroit currently, but before coming to Detroit, I stayed in Broward County, Florida.
Okay, cool. And so being in Detroit, what are you seeing? What's your perspective on it right now?
Man, being in Detroit, I see a lot of pain. I see a lot of pain where it's a mask. If I'm speaking from a fashion perspective, it's masked in the fashion and the Montclair and the money. So, and in the fast lifestyle. So some people don't even have time to even express or even reflect on their life. Like shit happens so fast, and that's what I noticed being here. And I also got like this I'm gonna be by myself type mentality being in Detroit. Or if that's my clique, I'm gonna fuck with just them type shit. That's what I got from here. So it's really like if you come into Detroit not really knowing people is really tough because like everyone already got the people that they rocking with. Like you're an outsider. That's how I felt when I first came here.
Yeah, and did you find a way to fit in or set yourself?
I mean, honestly, I never believe in fitting in. Like my shirt says, "Be offensive, being yourself." I just I showed up as myself, and it was receptive. I was here helping people, so that's how I became associated with people I know now, just by just showing up and bringing value and helping people out the best I can.
So when people approach you or talk to you about what you do, what's the best way to kind of explain what you offer and what you do for people?
So if I want to give them a short statement, I make emotional comfort wear. Basically what that is clothes that can relate to how you feel. If I want to give them a long statement, it's me turning my pain into something that you can wear and receive for emotionally unavailable people that want to express themselves.
Now, my friend is a sound engineer for 2 Chainz. His name is Nolan Presley, and you had the honors of working with 2 Chainz. Talk about that opportunity.
So my background, one of my first jobs was working as a pharmacy tech. Condom pills, et cetera, et cetera. It's just something I knew I didn't want to be in a 9-to-5 prison, because that's what I think a 9-to-5 is. I feel like it's like a prison that when you get too comfortable making decent money, it kind of kills your dream. So I seen something pop up on my TL about applying for, a grant from 2 Chainz. I just applied to it, not thinking nothing of it. I guess, this one comes back to the lottery. So I applied, just applying, and then, I kept scrolling. I get a message from his management. hey, 2 Chainz, like your story. Do you want to talk to him on FaceTime? I said, yeah, let's do it. But I'm still thinking it's like a scam, low key in my head. So we set up a time to talk. We get on FaceTime. I see somebody else that wasn't 2 Chainz. So I'm like, oh, damn, I got scammed. And then on my end, 2 Chainz finally pops up, but I'm in the dark hiding myself. So they don't even know. He's asking, like, what's going on? Like, yeah. I'm like getting, cause I was going to an event. So, but I'm a person that I would like to show up. So I showed up, got out the car. Then we started talking. And he's like, let me know, like, what's your story? Like, I already support it, but I want to hear from you. Like, what's your story from this?
What'd you tell him?
So what I told him is that my name is Edison. I'm a lottery winner from Africa. I started making clothes after my sister's situation, and I'm turning my pain into passion, or my pain into clothes. So he got the message of pain, clothes, my sister's story, and he's like, yo, I really support that. So how can we move forward? Like, how can I help you or contribute to what you got going on? And I told him, man, just like a promotion. He's like, I can't really do that right now, but I could definitely help you out money-wise, contribution-wise. I was like, all right, bet. And then he just threw a figure, 15 racks. I said, let's do it.
And so how did they give you the money? They just wire transfer it? Or?
They wire transferred it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they wire transferred it. They kept their word. Like, he did come through.
And he didn't expect anything from you after that. He just wanted to support you.
No string tied.
Wow. And so talk about that, man. Talk about what proceeded after that. What was kind of like the next milestone after that for you?
So this part right here is a little painful for me because it made me realize, like, no one really got your back besides your family. And I mean, that mindset for me shifts, but like, I felt betrayed. I didn't have a car at the time. I was Ubering everywhere. I spent like $7,000 on Ubers. I didn't have a car. And what I was doing with the money was what my mission is: going to people, bringing them food, talking about their mental health. And I just felt like there was no support. I felt like I was breaking my back, and I wasn't expecting support, but I don't even get good morning texts from these people. So it's like, I just felt like it kind of a resentment came from that. Like, all these people I'm helping, like, we having a good time, we vibing, but after the vibe is gone, it's like, fuck him. So a lot of resentment came from that. Like, I forgave those people, but that's what happened after I was doing my mission. I was living every day helping someone. It was fun for me. I didn't feel no tiredness doing it. I was helping people, pulling up, talking to them, giving them my ears, giving them my time. And that's what proceeded after that.
Yeah. What milestone do you feel accomplished after that rush of
It made me realize what's my passion, because I would do it again.
Okay. Yeah. And so what's been the biggest thing that's happened for you and your brand and everything, the journey you guys have been through so far?
Man, I've been able to create without no limits, no 9 to 5, and I've been able to live. Like, when I say live, like, I don't gotta watch the clock, unless I'm making arrangements with people. But I don't have to wake up like, oh man, I'm gonna be here from 8 hours stuck and my dream dying. So that's a big milestone for me. Talk
about that too a little bit, the 9 to 5, right? Being in that situation and knowing that there's no way you're gonna go back to that.
Man, there's no way there's no way 100% I'm going back to 9 to 5, because I understand like how my brain works, and I understand my worth and what I'm standing on. At this point, if time gets hard, I have to remember where I came from, and I have to figure it out. We're in a new era. This is the internet age. There's so many ways to make it happen if you just sit yourself down and not get distracted by women, by drugs, by things that makes you forget reality. Because once you forget about reality, you kind of like, you have to be in reality, but then at the same time you got to be out of it. What I mean by that is, like, for me, I live very carefree, because when you start thinking too much, you start stressing out. But at the same time, you have responsibility, so you got to balance both of them. You can't indulge and think one thing too much and be fucked up.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with you on that. You know, and back to the mental health, knowing the image that people have to put out there, portray in order to gain acceptance. What do you think could change? How do you think you could help people change their perception of themselves and how they want people to perceive them?
So my plan, this is an honest plan. So to any influencer that's hearing this, just hear me out. I plan, if I'm starting in Detroit, I plan on reaching out to the top dogs in Detroit that everyone looks up to. Like, say, for example, Peasy, Sada Baby, and we're going to get them on camera venting, because that's going to change a lot from other people that look up to them. Like, okay, it's cool, because people, like, those people make things cool. So that's my honest plan. Like, we're going to turn their pain into something, into fashion. So we're going to mix both. We're going to put their music in it. So that's my honest game plan for it. It's like Oprah Winfrey meets Fashion Runway.
Yeah.
Like that's my honest plan that
Very cool.
I know I can do.
Now, don't you see the challenge a little bit? Because even a lot of artists will make points that anytime they post anything positive, it doesn't get as much reciprocation as if they post something negative. So you got to remember that the bag is in line with the negativity and the clout chasing stuff. So how can you change perspective on that? Because the money is there for them.
Okay. So one of my goals for an artist is to have Drake cry while wearing my clothes. I feel like that's so like no one would ever thought of that it would bring that back to Drake too. Like think of your favorite artist crying, vulnerable, and he doesn't got to do. I'm not telling him to do it every day. It's just for that moment.
Yeah.
So if you can have Drake on the interview crying, Rihanna crying, it's gonna have a ripple effect that precedes the bag.
Right. And I can see that. And in Detroit, it's just so difficult to see it happening in Detroit just because that persona is so cemented. And you know what I mean? That's my only thing.
Okay, I mean, even if they don't have to cry on camera. Let's say if they can at least be vulnerable and express their pain, raw.
Find a way, right?
Yeah, if they could do that, I feel like that will open the conversation for people to at least stop having to hide the pain. They don't gotta cry. Let's take out the crying. If they can at least be vulnerable, at least some people will start getting help.
Have you ever had an experience where you met somebody that was successful in that range and just seen the pain within them and just looked at them like, man, I know you're going through a lot and it's okay to be okay. And have you had talks with people?
I thought 100% when I lived in New York, man, a lot of people, all the top CEOs I was seeing was going through pain. They was always at the club drinking and they would let me know like, and I get it. They didn't even need to talk to me. Like me working in these jobs made me realize like how much responsibility you actually get when you get a lot of money and success. Like I'm experiencing it now and I'm not on that level. So I can only imagine when you got people that want from you, that want to take from you, that want to, they just want to, it's just like you got to watch your backs at some moments. You don't know what people's attention. So I can only imagine how stressful that is.
Right. Talk about your inspirations, man. Just in general in life, who kind of motivates you and keeps you inspired?
My family, my dad, because my mom and dad got divorced. My dad could have given up on this. My dad fought so hard to be in our lives that it's insane. And all the principles he stand on till today, he stands on that. He didn't have no other wife. He didn't have any interaction with women before he met my mom. So when he tell me don't mess with girls, he stands on that. Everything my dad does, he stands on. I see him do it every day. At the age of 56, he's still doing it. He's never got jaded. He's never making excuses. He's doing it every day. Waking up, going places on time every day.
Yeah, man. No, I hear that. And that balance helps you dominate the world and get what you want out of it.
Big
now,
facts.
what do you where do you feel like you're at right now with your brand right now? What do you feel like you're at? Do you feel like you're in a comfortable position or do you feel like there's a lot more work that needs to be done?
I feel pain. Like my heart right now hurts. Like for example, yesterday I got in a room with a guy that makes clothes and my intention, I thought was what we planned the day before was it wasn't a detailed plan. We're gonna go to this event, so close. I link up with him, we're chilling, and then we go to the event. He said we're scouting, so like I feel like I wasted time. So like I feel like I'm racing against the clock because I know I can do this. Like to me, there's no fear for me to do. I can go to New York right now with no money, and I know I can do it this time. Like when I went the first time, I was young. I didn't have no plans. I just was going there for fun. Now I know I'm ready.
Yeah.
So when I'm with people that are not aligned, I feel like I'm wasting so much time. That's why I'm not in a relationship, because for me, relationships, I feel like have to have the same balance and understanding, and they take time. So when I feel robbed from my time there, it really hurts nowadays. Like it really hurts.
Yeah, I know. I hear what you're saying.
My parents are not gonna be here forever, and those are the people as well that I'm feel in debt to. So I want them to actually see this. I don't really communicate what I'm doing with them, but I want them to see this.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm racing against. Like not like anybody or competition on the clock per se, but like my parents. I want them to enjoy this moment. I want to retire them. They're working. I feel like they're in prison. They go to work every day. They're slaving every day, and I'm tired of feeling that for them.
So you're very compassionate towards people.
100%.
Yeah, and that's never left you. Like you've just always been this way.
I've always been this way after having homies that I sent them clientele, they finessed them and then blocked me. So it's definitely gotten me backstabbed a lot.
Damn.
But I don't think I would ever change myself for it, because the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah, man.
100%. But living like this, I will say it comes with a lot of risk. A lot.
Yeah, I mean, people backstabbing you is a pretty big thing because it's hard enough to find people to trust to expand with it, and they're turning on you, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
So it's a risky game. Life is risky. I feel like I drove here and I got in a car crash. I just feel life is risky.
Yeah, man. How did you and Oludo meet?
I met through actually RBA Dre. He's on his way.
You're gonna be here by the time we're done.
I pray that he's good.
Yeah.
But I met through RBA Dre. I met him. So he's not here, but I want to tell that story because this is really important. This what made me realize there's hope in Detroit. I had a bear before. I never showed my face. He reached out to me. We linked up. He seen who I was. We linked up again. But this time he sent me his girl going through pain. Like she's talking about she's going to commit suicide, her Facebook status. I linked with his girl. We had a conversation. They brought their kids. And I get a message after they left. Yo, thank you for helping my girl. I just feel like she's opening up to me more, and just the aura when she left you to come back home, I can tell the difference. So then through that, me and Dre been building. He's been very reliable. He manages a couple artists, and he's been bringing me around dope artists and dope people in general.
For sure.
That's how me and Oludo met. And there's a song from Oludo, if we don't get time, but this song is my favorite song by Oludo. It's called Gabrielle. I've played that song on replay at least 100+ times, and it's hard for me. It's kind of like you have this effect. It's hard to play like the people closest to you, like in your life, like their music. But I honestly, genuinely fuck with Oludo's music called Gabrielle. Like that song is just a vibe. I can't even tell it's Oludo. It's just a vibe. Like it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
For sure. Oludo's super talented, man.
Big facts.
You know, it's good that you guys come together to support this cause because I do feel like it's a real thing that mental health is. I mean, look what's happening in the country itself. You know what I mean? Like even school shootings and these mass sprees and all this stuff. It's like something's going on with mental health.
Big facts.
I mean, it's not like everything is straight. You know, shit's fucked up. And if you watch Crime in the D or Say Cheese TV, you're seeing murders every day, people getting killed, people going to prison. There was a guy who knocked out he was working at Burger King or something, and he knocked out a customer because the customer had said something to him. The customer fell down to the ground, and then he died like the next day. And it's like,
what?
You just threw away your whole life. And to me, when I looked at this guy, I was like, something is wrong with you inside because no normal person would do that
At all.
Yeah. And so go ahead.
And I also feel like the stigma around mental health that I want to change too, because I feel like, oh, you got to be positive. I feel like for me, I want to say embrace whatever you're feeling. Embrace your anger. Embrace your pain. And what I mean by that, like, okay, you don't got to go knock somebody out. Go to a rage room. Invest in that to express that outlet. Don't go to therapy just to change it and still have it kind of bottled inside and be this positive person. Embrace it.
Yeah, man.
That's something that I feel like mental health lacks that makes it hard. Like, okay, if you don't want to cry in public, okay, go cry in your room, but invest that time in yourself. Invest in yourself too. Yeah,
man, exactly. And like you said, don't go after this approach of just being a positive-minded person because that brings its own curses as well.
Facts.
So just whatever is within you, let it go.
Let it go.
Let it happen, right?
Yep.
Can you imagine the frustration of people, especially because like we hang out around Detroit most often. Imagine the frustration of people who have all these emotions muddled up in Detroit, and when they get the wrong time to release it is the wrong fucking time. Instead of it being like you do it gradually and let it happen as it happens, you could be at the bar one night and somebody could bump into you, and that's my moment to be pissed off now because I've been bottling it up.
Yeah, and man, and one thing I will say that's been helping me stay grounded is being grateful. Like waking up, being grateful. Because there's moments for me where I feel cold. I get in a dark headspace. Like I just feel like, why am I here?
Yeah.
But when I get grateful, it kind of brings me back. It makes me realize like, wow, like I'm coming from Africa where like some stuff that I have right now, like that are very inexpensive. I can never even imagine it to get that there.
Yeah, man.
So like that, being grateful, going to the gym for me, I go release anger at the gym. It's fun. It's motivating for me. So like there's outlets that keep me going as well while I'm doing this. Because if I didn't have those outlets, honestly, I probably would have committed suicide. Because this is a lot of work. Like hearing other people's pain and taking it, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, man. Do you feel kind of like not a priest, but something of a spiritual guidance?
I'm an emotional comfort friend. That's what, if someone want to address me, that's what I am. Like, I'm not a therapist because I don't have the licensing for it, but I'm an emotional comfort friend. So if you need emotional comfort to hang out, ear, to have fun, and you don't got the funds as far as like, let's say you want to eat. I'm not saying I'll do this for everyone, but that's what I am. An emotional comfort friend and designer.
Yeah, man. What's the biggest advice you feel like you keep giving over and over and over again to people?
Don't never give up. And that one is a big advice for me. because I feel like there's moments where you're always gonna hit the breaking point. You even gonna get to places and you're gonna want to give up. And you achieved everything, but when you don't give up, I feel like the beauty in that is living, even if finding yourself out more, doing things that you thought would never happen, and it keeps you going. And then mix that with like gratitude and prayer. To me, those are the best advice. Like never give up and do you.
And when somebody's in their worst moments, when they're really, really, really down, how do you help get them out of that?
So what I've done in the past, everything I'm saying, I've done it on a smaller scale with my own budget. So I had a friend that makes music. Her name is Linda Singer. She wanted to, she's a hustler. She had to go make money to pay rent. She Ubers. I think that Uber asked how much she made. I think she said 150. So I paid her 150 so she don't have to go to work. So we did karaoke. Then it went from I fell asleep to her continuing to sing. I feel like a lot of people, the pain going to work, it kind of their dream die. They're making money, but their dream is dead. But if I want to turn something where I want to make like the Uber for friends, like if you can hang out with your friend and make money and not have to worry about money, like a lot of people would be therapists, but they don't have time to hear nobody else. They need to go make money to pay their bills. And how I would make this work, I would monetize it. We're in a content era. So 100 people that have money hanging out with their friend making content, I feel like the return on that would come back when it needs to. So that's my plan for that. Like a Uber for friends, so we can have more therapists, free therapists on the street, listening to the people that they love, that they want to talk to, but won't have time to spend because of work, money, things like that.
Yeah.
Implement something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I would know that when people are in those thought processes where they feel like they can't get out of it, you got to let them know that they're not alone, because a lot of people that deal with mental health feel like they're the only ones dealing with it. That's the biggest thing for real.
And even for you working with Detroit artists a lot, and you're obviously seeing a lot of anger and rage and things like that. Talk about your own experiences with seeing artists that have need that emotional release, but just they never do that.
I would say,
Nick, is that camera centered on them?
It's difficult, I would say. I just know, just for me, just know how I am. It's hard to communicate with people that's like that, especially if you're like that. So I don't really know. I don't really know how to answer that for real.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, look, man, it's great that you guys are both on this journey together and to make this happen. Trap, at the end of the day, what's going to be the next big move that you make to help get this message spread?
So the next big move that I seriously feel like will bring joy to me in this process is actually releasing my story. Basically, what we have here is everything that I told you and an item and a product. So you don't have to look too far.
Wow.
It's a bear with my sister's scars.
Wow.
And everything she said to herself, like, nobody loves me. Sad, lonely, everyone hates me, empty, I'm not good enough, numb, cold, I don't want to be here, scared, and all. Like, that's a good start for me. If nothing else works, I want to get my story out there and hopefully inspire someone.
Very cool, man.
Hopefully inspire someone. That's the main goal right now.
Very, very, very awesome, man. Well, look, man, it's been great having you guys aboard, man. Is there anything you want to shout out to the camera before we close out?
Man, I just want to say, one all, we all on. That shout out to RBA Dre. And honestly, man, I don't bite. I'm not bad and bougie. Tap in only if you're ready to really build. I don't have no time to waste. So if it's time to waste, I'll be bougie. I'm not gonna respond. But if you really want to build and there's a clear plan, I'm there. I'm all there for it.
Talk how people can find you guys on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms. Oluto, OLUTO. Also have an EP out, Alutopia, that's streaming on all streaming platforms.
Sure.
You can find me on Instagram at Trappin Styles. That's TRAPPINGSTYLES. Trappin Styles, and we'll go from there.
Trap, man. Yeah, I think this was one of my most favorite podcasts to film because it has a bigger message to it. You know, a lot of artists come on here, which is really cool, and share their stories, but you're doing something that is meant to help people.
100%.
It's meant to send a message to help people, and especially with something as serious as mental health, which is, I think one of my gurus said that he figures in the next 30 years, America is going to be 80% reliant on medication. and depressants and pills and medication, like stuff like that.
I 100% agree with him. I worked as a pharmacy tech, and all the medication, 90% of them were for mental health.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I've counted them and seen them with my own eyes and seen the side effects.
Yeah, literally.
So the way he said, bro, 100%.
Exactly. And it's showcasing in what we're seeing in the media as the negative news gets released more, that there is definitely mental health. Things can only happen because humans are doing stupid shit, and most likely they're doing stupid shit because something's going wrong in their minds. And so, now they're pushing prescription pills and all these types of things, which have their own side effects and their own issues acquainted with them. So, I mean, that it just shows that there's going to be an increase in prescription pills for mental health on the rise very soon. But for you giving awareness to this and trying to give that message to help people realize that it's okay to be emotional, it's okay to showcase your emotions, or just be with yourself and take your own time away from things to deal with yourself and handle yourself is very important. So I appreciate you being on here to share that message.
And I want to give one more honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So shout out to Mina the One. That's her Instagram. Molly Baby. Shout out to Little Army Thuggin from Florida. Shout out to my brother King Dirty Mutt 01. Well, King Dirty Mutt 1. And shout out to everyone that's in my life that supports me the long way.
So appreciate you fellas again. We're shooting at Parallel Sound Studio. High Low Visuals is shooting these productions for us. We're out. Peace. Yeah.